It's not that far.
Well, for me,
driving
out there from my home.
But I'm
is
saying
far,
if you move to Alpharetta, like you have Avalon and you're right there.
Alpharetta has a lot of stuff too. They got like restaurants everywhere.
And they're reasonably priced. So then you get the mix of like this and only 45 minutes from the
Y'all
airport.
just have to drive far. All my friends live on the other side.
They better come on.
Everybody live on the other side.
I'm staying over because I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It's an hour long.
All right, bro. I'm right. I will. Right. But welcome to the Bridge ATL, y'all. We're back with another episode. I hope y'all enjoyed the last one. As you can see, we're not dressed up. We're chilling today. Of course, I'm Ty, your friendly cameraman. Of course, sitting here co-hosting. And with me, as always, we have Kel.
What's up, y'all? What's going on? You know what to do and all that good stuff. You feel me?
And of course, we have Ashley with us.
Hello.
All right. So, with that, what are y'all thinking we getting into today? I'm thinking, there's a lot going on in the industry, some shakeups. Diddy's downfall has caused everything to really shake the core of everything.
Diddy done did it.
We're hearing about so many people.
If y'all been around for a long time, we've talked about Diddy a little, here and there. We talked about Kanye and Diddy. That was.
Did you do R. Kelly too?
No.
R. Kelly happened before us.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeffrey?
But I mean, before us.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're going to get into that too, because all of that kind of folds into each other, right?
Yeah. 1,000%.
It's just crazy how when a celebrity falls, right, it's usually that one celebrity just getting blown up. And then they drop a little pieces for other celebrities like, oh, this person did this dirt. This person did that dirt. But we only care about this one guy right now. So, it's crazy. I wanted to get y'all's perspectives on like what y'all think about what's going on right now. Diddy's in jail right now trying to fight a bail case. Get out. They're not letting him out. Like they are holding him in. So whatever he did that shit.
So my thing with him, I think we touched the Cassie thing a little bit. You know what I mean? Like that was crazy, right? I mean that was what really. I mean, we all had the thoughts. We all had the different.
Diddy's been a menace since making the band when he made them people leave.
Hey, Chappelle told us.
He's been a menace. Tyra's a menace. Like Tyra Banks.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I believe it, yeah.
Like, oh, you have long pretty hair, bald. Oh, you're bald-headed, wig. Like, she was so mean to the girls. Like, she gave bully energy.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
I feel like that was like, I'm not defending her. It was just rude, right? But I feel like that's the
industry. That's
industry, yeah.
No. My mom, I used to do pageants and stuff, and my mom always used to make me, watch it. And she's like, don't you want to be on her show? And I was like, absolutely the fuck not. Like, in what world she's going to see me and be like, cut all your hair off? Like, I feel like with all the black girls, she wanted them all to cut their hair and change their features. And then what was really crazy was she'll kick you off. So you'll cry to cut your hair. You'll be like, I don't want to. She'll be like, well, then you don't want it. So then you're like, all right, fuck it. Like, I'm going to cut my hair off next season. Oh, you know what? I just don't really think this look was going for you.
Damn,
what
for real?
The fuck?
That's how it was going?
Yeah, she was wild. She told one of the girls, she was like, yeah, you'll never be famous with a gap.
Oh, you talking about old girl who became famous with a gap?
Yeah, like, Tyra was just a menace.
I read her name, but yeah.
I don't think it was Twigs. Is it Twigs?
It might be. I don't know.
Twigs might have been after. Light skin, bigger face was with Savage Fenty, Gap.
Yeah.
She
but
crazy.
I just feel like all of those shows were wrong, but because of the time, it was just kind of like, whatever. Like, we know this isn't right, but it's what happened.
I think we've kind of talked about this kind of phenomenon before, where there were a lot of things that people just, it is whatever it is, using certain words that people nowadays don't like you to use were just commonplace. Like
retarded was a 90s.
Retarded wasn't like a slur.
No.
It was just a word.
You're stupid, like kids.
It was the same thing with like gay.
People
would say gay to mean stupid.
Gay.
And it's just over time, it's like the generation that used all those words grew up. And those people who maybe fell in those categories, maybe didn't, usually it was the people who didn't fall in the categories, decided we should stop being this kind of way. And, now everything is offensive. Because everybody decided this group of people decided to be offended, even though it's not offending them, which is, the most interesting part. It's not like... Well, I mean, special needs people couldn't have came out and said, well, we don't like you guys using retarded.
So that's what I was going to say. I think what happened was the people like us who maybe use the words but not in a hateful way saw the people that were saying it in a hateful way, and we were kind of like, that's not cool. but I can't speak for like your parents, but my mom is very like politically incorrect at all times. Mm-hmm. Like there's not a time in this world when she's politically correct.
She just says off the wall shit.
Whatever if you have ever seen Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, my mom is like Mary. Whatever comes into her brain, she's saying it. She doesn't care.
Off the rip.
Just whatever. Oh, that baby's ugly. Like whatever. She's just like, wow, you got fat. Like she just says things, and everybody's just like, that's not. And she's like, oh, my bad. Like, oops. But I think it's the people that had like those parents that said whatever, and it was acceptable. Us that we were like, well, we don't mean it this way, but we see how this hurts people. Right. We had the middle ground, but then the kids after us were the participation kids. So, and that's where
they took it to the next level.
And that's where I think it went.
So now everything is offensive.
And that's where I think we lost it from being like, you're sucking the air out of the room because I have to include everybody. We didn't say that. We just said, don't be a dick. Like, just don't be mean.
And then so you're saying the next generation came with inclusivity.
And it's even worse because I feel like
the people after them are going to be even more.
Are we going to have an Olympics if you can't do first, second, third? Like if we have to include everybody?
No, they'll never stop that.
But you get what I'm saying.
No, everybody wants to feel equal. And I know we were all taught, people are created equal, but the fact of the matter is, we were created equal, but that doesn't mean your life, like your lifestyle and whatever you do is going to make you equal to the next person. Unfortunately, there's factors that change that. Whether it's physical or financial or anything, right? There's going to be differences. Mm-hmm. And people need to understand that.
I don't think it's the differences as much as I think people that were used to immediately being put in that category of they get it weren't. Mm-hmm. So now it's like, oh, well, now everybody has to be included. But at the end of the day, like when these kids graduate, I feel like they're getting a very big disservice. Because what are you going to do if all three of us apply for one position and I get the position? Are you two now going to complain and say, well, I get a participation trophy, right? Like I get a participation position because that's what we're setting them up for. If we're telling everybody that we're all equal at all times and there's never a winner, at what point do you take a step back and say, you know what? No, there's one job. Mm-hmm. You're all not going to get it because you're all not equally qualified. One person has to at some point be better. And I feel like that's where these kids are really going to be screwed when they grow up because they're so used to being told, we all win. Mm-hmm. We all get this. We all came in first place, even though you finished first, you finished second, and you finished third, clearly. But we all got a trophy. So like now, why aren't I getting this job? We all don't get it?
Yeah. I mean, are people complaining about not getting jobs? Well, they are, but it's like, is it a thing where somebody's better than you, more qualified than you? Are they complaining?
Yes, I've heard men complain about women getting jobs and straight up say, "I don't care that they're more qualified than me. I should have the job."
Well, then those are children.
See,
those are children. Thing. Like that's on you, bro.
You asked if it was happening.
It's definitely happening. I'm just saying that's a child.
Yeah, it's wild.
See, like, I don't really.
You automatically know.
When some people
I'm not gonna compare it.
Yeah,
my mom always told me. There will be somebody prettier than you, smarter than you, taller than you, better than you at everything. That's just life. Mm-hmm. That's life. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what we're missing because people are just like, oh, you're perfect. No,
people need to understand
like,
you gotta
you're
work
not,
for it.
And that's okay.
But I need people to keep the same energy when it comes to everything if y'all want it to be
everything.
Like that.
Stop moving the bar.
Because like if you look at it, talking about what we just said with the whole Diddy thing, he's being super vilified, which rightfully so, right? But I feel like the narrative is being lost. And I just know that if it were somebody else, I don't think it would be this hard. Like if it was a woman, I don't think they would be going that hard.
And right? I am so sick of everybody making these jokes. It is not funny. It's not hilarious to bring up. And just as a disclaimer, I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. But to use videos that you feel were issues that happened at his home. So the Meek Mill video of him in the pool. Mm-hmm. Clearly something was wrong. And everybody is laughing like, oh, his butt hurts, this. The shit's not funny. Like if that was a girl,
oh my
that
God.
We would never hear the end of it. If that was your son that was done to, that would not be cool.
I'm so sorry, but like I ain't gonna lie. So look, it's like social media is definitely Poison influence people who are part of that, and then definitely Meek Mill is absolutely, he could be a victim or he could be like not even part of it. They definitely like manufactured a way to make him seem like some kind of, he got diddled, and it's so crazy how that works.
But even if he did, like, it's not funny. Like, to make an action figure of P. Diddy with baby oil is not funny to me. Like, yeah, it's out there. It's like a whole little Diddy action figure with little baby oil next to it. Like, it's not funny.
Oh my God.
I ain't gonna lie, I've been corrupted by social media.
Look.
It's also not funny that, like...
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. Like, look, if I'm laughing, it's not...
Oh shit!
It's like an awkward laugh.
It's like the stupidity of it, right? Yeah. If I met Meek Mill, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, you might be gay, bro. Like no, it's none of that. Like, I feel sorry for you that you have to go through this, and everything that you try to do to stop it is making it worse somehow, and people are building a narrative.
I think it comes into like the protecting our men and protecting black men specifically. Like Justin Bieber, everybody's feeling bad for him, and they're pulling up the old videos of him like
getting kissed and groped and all that,
and grabbed, and I can't wait until you turn 18, and everybody's like, that's sad. But you do realize like hurt people. So Usher, Diddy had custody of Usher. Mm-hmm. Justin Bieber's mom gave Usher custody of Justin. Yeah. Usher then gave Diddy 24 hours with Diddy. And the comment came up because they flashed back, and Diddy was like, are you ready for your 24 hours and to become a man? Yeah, like, that's crazy. Everybody feels bad for Justin, but nobody's looking at Usher. Nobody's looking at Diddy. Nobody's looking at...
Like Meek Mill or anybody.
Look, the victims. I'm not gonna lie. I have more... Because Justin Bieber was like 14. Meek Mill was like, how old when he dealt
He
with
was
Diddy?
grown. Usher was a child though. When
Usher, yeah,
but so Usher's not a part of this. I haven't seen any like memes making fun of
Usher's mom is trying to sue Diddy because she said Diddy took her son's virginity and she wants money.
Does she know this, or is she just...
She said that she thought, because it's counterintuitive. So at the beginning when the stuff started coming out like 2 years ago, it was like, oh, he was a great guy. I did my research, blah, blah, blah. He didn't hurt my son. Now that all this stuff is coming out, she's like, I believe he did hurt my son and I trusted him, and now he has to pay me. If your son was hurt, why are you looking for a check?
Look, though, this is the same shit that happened with R. Kelly.
R. Kelly, Aaliyah,
this is the same shit that happened with R. Kelly, because R. Kelly, these parents were signing their daughters away to R. Kelly to do whatever he wanted to them. And now that it's all blown up, everybody's like, oh, we were victims.
And the parents need to be in jail too. Fuck a check.
The fact of the matter is, parents need to protect their children, especially if your child has a talent and the world wants to, and somebody's trying to boost them to the world. Protect your child. Do not leave your child with any of these celebrities.
But they don't care because they want to check.
And that's the sad part.
It's very sad.
It's a continuing cycle. I'm sure it's happening right now. I don't know of any child stars that are in the way are like coming up, right? But it's sad to think that there's somebody who's willing to take advantage of these children.
But if you think of the nuances in society, like, have you guys ever heard it's mainly told to like girls, like, oh, you're going over such and such's house, you need pajama pants. Can't be walking around with shorts on. There's men over there. You can't walk around with shorts on.
Yeah. When they're like,
why are you a child being told you can't walk around with shorts in the summertime because grown men are there? That's wild to me.
I think that's more of a... So I do understand how crazy that is.
All
I get
of
it.
that goes
and
together,
I think that's
though.
like one of those... I hate to say it like this, but what I always say, and I've said it before on the show, is that the way things should be is that, yes, a child shouldn't have to worry about something like that. But unfortunately, the way things are is that...
But why are you taking your child to a place that you're concerned about them showing their kneecaps?
Well, people aren't capable... People aren't capable of standing up.
You can't trust everybody in their...
So why is your kid there?
Well, like, look, it happens at family get-togethers. But that's the thing. People aren't brave enough to stand up to family
and that's wild
and call out behavior. You've heard. I'm sure you've heard of like family members who've done stuff to other family members.
Oh yeah,
and they're just at the family reunion like it's cool. They just kicking it. And nobody's like, and I never understood that way of like thinking, because it's like, you do that, bro, you're done. You're not a part of this.
Yes, but as an adult, if anybody needs any of my family members, I'm always in some shit because I will call it the fuck out immediately.
I mean, I respect that because
and I'm 10 toes down because I'm a grown up. Because y'all always said when you get grown, then you could do it. Well, I'm grown, so I'm doing it.
It's time now.
Yeah, so like, why? Like, and I'm asking the questions. Why are you telling Ashley that she needs to put shorts on to come and be around whoever. Why? I want you to say out of your mouth because you think that person is a pedophile. Because if you say it and you're putting words to it, then you understand that you're wild as fuck for sitting here drinking and breaking bread with a pedophile. True. I want you to own it. I'm not making my child change what they're doing and hurting their innocence because you guys want a fucking criminal around. That's crazy.
Yeah, no,
that's crazy.
That's facts. I fully agree.
With Diddy, it's like everybody wants to vilify him, but I keep hearing like, oh, but I'm going to miss Diddy parties.
Yeah, because didn't somebody say that?
Bow Wow.
Boward, man.
Was Shad
Moss,
man.
That's wild. As a grown man with kids, with daughters, you're over here saying
Diddy parties.
The only thing that was missing after the BET was a good old Diddy party.
But I've heard from many people who went. They said that he had good parties. The other shit, they don't know nothing about that. That
seems to be the going thing, and I feel like.
But the consensus, that's bullshit. My thing is that's like saying, oh, I'm gonna date a man that abuses people. He's abused women, but he ain't never hit me.
Whew,
what?
Yeah.
What?
Shit.
What? Like, call it for what it is. Okay, you might have attended a party and that might not be your experience. I'm not saying that you're guilty, but to say, well, all right, I got to get out of here by 10 because they get a little freaky at 10:01. So
what did Marlon say? I used to hang out the whole time.
So technically, that's
they must have started when I
left. That's wild. And yeah, there can be different areas and different things, but to say, I recently passed Diddy's house and I was in LA for my birthday in August, and it's a beautiful home. There were movers when I was there. There were movers. This man has like 20 garbage cans lined out in front. And his house has these big trees and it's covered. The house itself doesn't seem like a massive, like, it's not a big, huge area like the Playboy Mansion where maybe your party's over here and I'm over here. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, this man had, 1,000 bottles of baby oil? He had IVs on deck because the people attending his parties became so dehydrated from drugs and things like that. Like, these are issues that I feel like the entertainment industry is but so big. Like, in general. Mm-hmm. I feel like we know this. We've learned it. Yeah. We've seen it. People speak up. They get blackballed. It's done. There is no way that you had no idea this man behaved the way that he did. Young Jock said he saw Cassie be forced to shave her head.
Yeah, he heard it. He said he heard it.
He was there. He said he was there at a dinner. He told a whole story about it.
Yep.
People knew what this man was doing. But it wasn't being done to them, so they didn't care.
No. So they knew what was going on. They just don't want to be a part of it. So you have to realize.
But you are a part of it.
No, they're absolutely part of it. Look how many people Diddy's been around. Diddy's been around everybody in the industry, and they when they see Diddy, they shake hands with him. Whoop. Now he got locked up for what he's doing. Now they ain't got shit to say. Like, that's, to me, all the bullshit with Diddy. That's whatever. We knew about this shit about Diddy. My thing is the people that are around him who are just straight quiet,
complicit,
saying nothing. Like, you were there, bro. Like, you part of this shit. Like, you knew about this shit.
You know, Ashton Kutcher has to speak on this trial, and this is the 4th trial he's had to speak
he got
on.
all his homies. That's
all of his friends are pedophiles. What does that say about you?
That's not a good look at all.
Bro, let me tell you how
crazy.
How crazy his shit is. Because don't he do some like sex trafficking shit?
He has a charity, where they're saving people.
Doing that bull. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you know who else? And this is, don't sue me because I don't have it to give. But another person that I feel like is involved with stuff like that and everybody overlooks is Oprah.
Oh, shit.
Oprah's school
at the top
has children that go missing yearly.
I've heard about that, yeah. I think we talked about that.
She has girls before. That have been kidnapped. No,
on the show.
Raped.
I think you said this to us before.
Maybe behind scenes, but I don't think we talked about it on the show. I feel
like we talked about this
Oprah,
before.
You're Oprah. You're Oprah.
Yeah.
Your Oprah has missing children.
Yeah, because they were talking... Well, that's what it was. They were saying they were killing the girls and they were mixing the blood and injecting the blood into Oprah to keep her looking as young as she does. Yeah, that's the whole conspiracy of it, bro.
Well, I don't know.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
I know for a fact that she had young girls that were missing, and I personally love her. Angelina Jolie is that girl, and you cannot tell me otherwise.
That's bae.
Angelina, look it up. Angelina will not speak about Oprah and her foundation, and she wants nothing to do with it. She never speaks about her. She doesn't acknowledge her. They have no parts. And they do the same kind of work in the same kind of areas. What does that tell you? If you want to look at kids being adopted, all Madonna's kids, all her black kids that she unlawfully adopted and stole, have very different issues than Angelina Jolie's black kids. I see Angelina Jolie's daughter living her best AKA life at her HBCU.
No,
okay?
For real, down the street.
I don't see any issues with her kids. I feel like there's a difference between the celebrities that partake and the celebrities that know that it's going on and they stay far away.
I think there also is the conspiracy. Let me put on my tinfoil hat.
Okay.
I think there's more going on behind the scenes that we as just the regular people don't know about. Right?
1,000%.
I think there's you got to think about how much money is in the entertainment industry in general. And these people have gotten to a point where they have all this money. I think some people have to make a decision of, do I partake in this or do I take my little corner and go? And then when you take your little corner and go, that typically goes with like you being able to be in the limelight all the time, right? I feel like, because like even like you said, Angelina Jolie, she's chill, right? But
she makes her movies, gets her check and bounces.
We don't see her as much as we used to.
No.
Right? She's really like ducked off now. I don't know if she can go in and just pick up a big movie off the bat or anything like that.
She's done
she
Maleficent.
Probably can.
She's
Right. She's got her movies,
yeah.
so it's like she's just chilling. But I feel like a lot of times there's people who sit at the top who I don't want to say they have to do these things, but they are pushed into positions where they have to. Well, where they will. Of course, I think some people are corrupted. Like in Diddy's case, he was doing a lot more than what we even imagined, right?
Yeah,
because the documentation that's been coming out,
like
right? So
that's wild.
Diddy parties to me was just like, oh, he's just having a bunch of orgies and all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah, like we for sure knew there.
Like he was partying like the Romans is what I thought, but like now
but
he
the
was
Romans
drugging
were
people,
pedophiles and doing that as well. So
yeah.
literally
right.
to the point.
You're right, but like now it's to the point where it's like, yeah, he's doing it. There were possibly children involved. There was unsolicited sex acts. There were other people involved with him.
All of this
bringing all these other
in
people
our face
into.
Ellen talks about the pizza parties and the industry and their pizza parties and did you get pizza? Chrissy Teigen is disgusting. That woman needs to rot under a jail. Have you seen her tweets about like, there's finally a little boy on Dance Moms. Now I have some eye candy. What?
That's crazy.
Like, what? Oh, he looks so scrumptious and he's only 10. Like, these are tweets. Like, you can look them up from her account.
She been getting in trouble by her tweets, though, for a long time, though, yeah.
And I feel like it's been dangled in our face for years. We just haven't paid attention because none of this is hidden. Mm-hmm. They were on award shows kissing Justin Bieber in his mouth and nobody said anything.
But that's what what we just talked about.
During
before,
that time,
it was acceptable for stuff like that. But now that everybody's like, wait a minute,
let's
take a step back. That's actually kind of crazy. Because it's like, oh, that's so cute. She's just trying to kiss him. Justin Bieber's
But I remember watching like the Nickelodeon
Kids' Choice Awards,
documentary.
Oh, the documentary?
Yeah.
Drake Bell, you talking about Drake Bell?
Look,
a lot of stuff that they were doing on those shows
crazy.
I thought was weird. Like as a kid watching it, like why is there white slime in your face?
But like
that's weird. That's not even the color of slime. Like what are we doing?
The crazy part about that show is like a lot of like about that. I watched it too because I watched a lot of Nickelodeon like teen shows growing up. Drake and Josh, iCarly. The dude who pretty much orchestrated all those shows, Dan Schneider,
is still working.
They finally like kind of pushed him to the side now, but he's not in jail, right? Because they're like, well, he didn't do anything, so he just has a foot fetish.
I believe he's the way he is. Amanda Bynes is the way she is because of him.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing, going back, protect your children. Because watching that series, like what some of those kids were saying, like some of the kids who got like raped or molested or other stuff, like the Drake Bell thing was really sad.
It was heartbreaking.
Like you said, hurt people. Because, Drake Bell got in trouble for the same thing.
Yeah.
He was texting a minor and with intentions of having sex with her. So it's like there's a cycle. Like that's how you see it. That was a very clear indication. Well, he was hurt when he was younger. Mm-hmm. So obviously he's going to put that behavior on somebody else because he probably thought, oh, well, he didn't get in trouble, so maybe it'll be okay for me.
I know it started with Corey Feldman back in the day. Like he was the first person. I'm talking about he was an actor in like the 70s, 80s. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And they thought he was going crazy because they really would show him during the 2000s. Like he would come on a show and he seemed like he was drugged up or whatever. But he's always said like, yeah, in the industry they would do me wrong, like just completely terrible. You know what I'm saying? And nobody was hearing them. But now today in 2024, it's being put on a magnifying glass. Like, okay.
But I don't think they're putting it on a magnifying glass. I think they're putting black men on a magnifying glass.
Just so not.
Because
I don't think it's
equal. Because Charlie Sheen, we stopped talking about him giving girls herpes and not telling them.
I don't even think it's
we stopped talking about that.
Specific.
Well, I'll tell you why they stopped talking about this, because I feel like these people who are in trouble, they got backup plans. They got blackmail information on these other people to say, hey, bro, I know you know I do this shit, but look, if you do that, I'm gonna do this to you.
But you have, so I looked it up because I wanted to see everybody. So Woody Allen, Charlie Sheen, Kevin Spacey, Roman Polanski, Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
I haven't heard about Elaine Maxwell.
She's locked up though.
Still in jail.
Yeah.
I don't think she's been tried for anything.
Roman and Woody fled the country.
They came up with a documentary in 0.2 seconds. And now what's irritating me is they're trying to bring Chris Brown back into it, and they're making a documentary about him. To people's logic, if you've done a crime and you've been committed and you've served your time, we're not supposed to talk about it anymore. Chris Brown, I think at the time, was a minor. Mm-hmm. He made a mistake. I'm not saying he was right.
You talking about Rihanna joint?
Yeah. Why?
He was a minor when they were
I think so.
No, he was like 20.
Yeah, I think he was older.
23, something like that.
He was older.
So he was under 25.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay, so he's under 25. Why are we still bringing it up 10 years later?
I don't know why they.
Why is there a Chris Brown documentary in the making, but we're not talking about Elaine Maxwell? We're not talking about Charlie Sheen. There was no Charlie Sheen documentary, and that man was doing some vile stuff. There's no Woody Allen documentary.
I can tell you why. Easy.
You make an Elvis movie like he did not marry a 14-year-old Priscilla and made it look cute and fun. I don't get it.
They're gonna make a Chris Brown documentary because we're gonna watch it.
I'm not watching it.
You might not.
I didn't watch the P. Diddy.
The majority of us are going to love that.
I'm not watching it.
And it's how many people? Granted, I ain't gonna lie. People probably would watch. Elaine Maxwell one.
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
It wouldn't do numbers like Chris Brown.
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody pulled the episode with Chris Brown off. I want to say it's like episode 120. If you look at it, there's 119 and 121, and they skip 120 because of what he's done. But you guys keep a pedophile on payroll.
I ain't gonna lie.
And didn't change any of the laws.
They don't like Chris Brown. A lot of white people do not like Chris Brown. They don't like Mike Vick.
My thing is, what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. If you don't like Chris Brown for beating up Rihanna, then you should not like Dan Schneider for having sex with minors. Period.
Yeah.
He's not convicted though.
Well, we don't know if he. We just know he made them do compromising things.
Amanda Bynes said she was pregnant by Dan Schneider.
Was it? I thought it was another dude on the show who she was pregnant by.
I thought it was one Dan, of his. Because he did the video with her.
No, it was one of his. It was one of his producers. It's another Schneider guy.
I thought it was Dan.
It was something Schneider.
The fat one with the black hair that was in the hot tub with her, and they were like, "This is weird because you're behind the scenes. Why are you in the hot tub?"
Dan.
With her?
It was another dude. They said it was another dude. It's another dude. His name was something Schneider too.
Yeah, but it was.
It was like his. It was one of the producers.
Either way.
And like that guy got in trouble. But Dan Schneider being able to continue working like he did. Because when they all got out, of course, Jeanette McCurdy more so went at her mom.
Yeah.
But Jeanette McCurdy also talked about, she's fucked up. Like, I don't know if you've seen her now. Like, she's...
I haven't seen her recently, but I know she wrote a book and she did some stuff.
Like, you could tell it like really took its toll on her mentally. Like, there was a video of her like popping off a little confetti cannon, and it looked like she was finna go crazy or some shit.
Oh, with
some
the
PTSD
sound.
And all that.
It was the sound. She didn't know it was gonna be that loud. She talked about it.
Her mom like really fucked her up, but she said Dan and all of them didn't make it any better because they made them do all this weird stuff. Same thing with Ariana Grande. They had them doing stuff with potatoes, like she was squeezing a potato like this, like it was a dick or something in her face, and it's like, yeah, that's kind of weird. Like. The Quiet on the Set thing really like talks about it because they're like, yeah, they had us do this and that, and you didn't think about it, but it was like this girl got a slime shot in her face. It's like a cum shot. Yeah, it's like a cum shot. Ha ha ha. It's like a 14-year-old girl getting splattered in the face. Nobody, and the fact is, nobody was just like, no, we're not doing that.
So I think it's almost like an insurance policy. You know how like when you get insurance, you factor in enough liability that like something might happen. Mm-hmm. I feel like in the industry, as a standard, they factor in that there's going to be a level of bullshit that they'll allow. And sadly, I think they allow...
That was the level they allowed. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And
around that time, yeah, absolutely.
I feel like it's very much a don't ask, don't tell. Like, oh, well, none of the kids complained. Oh, well, I was scared I was going to lose my job. Well,
I think that's the biggest factor. And I think a lot of people don't realize that.
Because you speak up, you get fired, and it's still happening. So
because everybody always, like, when the whole Me Too movement happened, right? A lot of people came out saying, yeah, it happened to me too. And a lot of people didn't speak out because they were afraid of the position they would be in. Like,
but
even
it's not an afraid of being in a position. It's the fear that nothing is going to happen. So I speak out, and then I'm fired, but nothing has changed. I guarantee 80% of women over the age of 30 or even over the age of 18 have had an uncomfortable experience with a man in power. And I think men have had it too. You guys just think it's cute. Well, because it's like, oh, such and such's mom is flirting with me, or the teacher wants me.
Yeah,
it's
and this
cute.
is, and we've talked about this.
It's cute.
As a man, we're always taught that no matter when, no matter how, no matter what, and this is probably why people brush it off for Justin Bieber. As a boy, getting attention from any women older than you, that's like, yo, you that nigga. Like, yo, you the shit. But like, that shit's crazy.
You're a victim.
Exactly, you're a victim. But nobody we've been so sex driven for so long. And that's my issue with
Diddy and nobody protecting the boys. Because if this was a plethora of women, if nobody has asked what happened with his sons, Quincy is not his child.
No.
I think only Sean is the only one.
Yeah.
That's his. And then the two twins. So you adopted not one, but two boys that have no relationship with their father whatsoever. That's not raising red flags. Didn't he adopt? I saw there was like some white girl, younger, longer hair, that had popped up a couple months, like it probably was a year ago now. She was in a couple of the videos and everybody was like, she was on a missing poster. And Diddy was like, come tell them that you're not missing. Come tell them that you're hanging out. And she was like, oh yeah, I'm not here against my will. I'm hanging out. His daughters are my friends. Why is there a missing poster of you? Nobody's questioned that. But for me, it's like there's so many questionable things that have happened and everybody's just like, oh yeah, this is crazy. How did it happen? Same way it happened with Jeffrey. The question you don't want to ask is, how many people do I like that knew about this? Because then what are you going to watch? What are you going to listen to? What are you going to like? People still listening to R. Kelly. We knew it was wrong when he was dating Aaliyah. We knew it was wrong when the Boondocks was joking about.
I was about to say the Boondocks made us joke.
On you. He raped kids. Protect me.
But the thing about the Boondocks is the Boondocks was very much a foretelling of the future because they were trying to show that people did not care.
Like, the Boondocks was trying to put it in your face in such a blunt way that you couldn't say you didn't know. And
people were just, and I don't think people understood the message of the Boondocks
it was
episode.
Funny. It was joking.
It was funny, but at the same time,
it's like I said, it's like we as a culture we digest this shit. We act like we care, but at the end of the day, we really don't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's a societal. Nobody cares what's happening to
it's a societal
them.
thing.
Nobody cares.
Like currently, you know, people are attacking other people for, well, maybe not as much anymore, but when it first started happening, the whole Israel thing in Palestine, you had people online going after people about who you support. Like, oh, do you support Palestine? Do you support Israel?
And I support Palestine.
And my thing is, people, I mean, does it matter who somebody supports? Does it really? At the end of the day, does it really matter who you support?
Yes, because at the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong. And when you're fighting somebody with no military and you're pouring cement down their only water source, you are a bully. That's not a fight. And I think that's what people are missing, because that group of people is controlling the world and controlling what we see and controlling what's put out, until things like TikTok and Instagram showed like, hey, no, we are the ones that are, we are the victims. So I think it matters, but I think, to your point, it's people pretending to fight for a cause.
and that's my thing, because you have these people who are brigading for it, like, oh, if you don't support Palestine, then I can't mess with you, or this, that, and the other. So I think for me, what it comes down to is, where's this coming from? Like, why are you doing this? Why are you brigading for them? Are you brigading for them because you see everybody else doing it? Or do you actually feel like there's some injustices going on and you want to do everything in your power to try and inform people and do what you can? If I feel like you're that type of person, then I understand where you're coming from. But if you're not that type of person, then what are we doing? Why are we having this conversation? You never cared. You just cared because
it was
other people cared. Exactly. So that's my issue with it, right? Of course, the whole situation is fucked up, right? There's wrong, and then there's very wrong, and there's a lot of very wrong going on right now. So
Diddy and all of his associates, everybody need to go down.
And see, that's the thing. Not everybody is going to go down. Diddy is probably going to go down.
I don't think Diddy's going to go down. I think Diddy's going to be in Bali with Russell's.
I don't know. I mean, you know, Kel has always been saying it. He's like, Diddy didn't pay his dues. And now he's facing the consequences of not paying his dues.
I think it's because they wanted, I don't know if you guys noticed, they've been talking about the videos. They can't find the tapes.
Of him doing all that?
It's not just him. So when they went through,
a bunch of other people,
every single one of his rooms had cameras in. And I'm assuming if I'm a millionaire, billionaire, whatever, and I'm going to these exclusive parties where I'm doing drugs and I'm drinking and I'm having sex with underage whoever, I'm going to be told that there's no proof. So then I find out, like, this is my homie. I've been doing it for years. Okay, cool. There's no proof, no proof, no proof. Now he's under fire. Okay, well, I got to make sure. So when they first did the raid, that's when they were like, oh, there's cameras in every room and every angle nobody knew about. Then they did another raid and they said, we can't find the tapes. My thing is, how did you know there were tapes and what are you so concerned about with the tapes? I think it's not that he didn't pay his dues. It's that they knew he was going down and they didn't want to go down with him.
So they did what they needed to do.
Okay.
They up their dues.
They don't care about nobody. They want to make sure if my name is Ashley and I'm the senator of Ashley land, that I'm not about to be on here getting caught doing what I'm not supposed to be doing. Yeah. Because how many people have, like you said, everybody's friends with Diddy. Mm-hmm. Everybody daps Diddy up. Diddy got everybody in his corner. White, black, Puerto Rican.
Cities, bro.
Diddy is that man. Everybody likes Diddy. Mm-hmm. So you mean to tell me you think that they're just... No.
So y'all didn't know. Like, come on, bro.
They want to make sure that they're not getting caught too. Mm-hmm. Same as Jeffrey Epstein, but Diddy's too loud. You can't just hang him. You already hung somebody. Diddy does not give suicide vibes. Diddy gives Gotham Joker, I'm burning this. I'm playing it on the big screen because I rented it out and I'm having little screens everywhere. Like when you do YouTube TV with the game and you watching 4 games, you're going to watch 4 senators.
The Joker's crazy.
He's doing it everywhere. He's riding around the city, watching it burn with his face out the window.
It's crazy.
Diddy is burning the city down.
I mean, he's already, it's already leaking out to other people because, Kanye, of course, he has a case coming up against him, a lawsuit filed from one of Diddy's old assistants. Kanye has a lawsuit saying that he drugged her and
I can see that. I don't know about that. I can't see him touching kids, but I could definitely see him slapping the shit out of somebody that didn't do what he said. Like his
last assistant just left and was like suing him because she said he would send him some off the wall shit.
He seems very mentally unstable.
He's definitely mentally
Now they're saying him and his wife are about to have a divorce. So it's and because all these niggas from podcasts are Kanye hits me up talking about you got some hoes for me to fuck. Like,
that's her concern, not parading around with indecent exposure everywhere, butt naked with a raincoat.
Well, I'm telling you, I've said this before. I said
she's gonna cry wolf.
Time ago, she's gonna cry wolf. Like, he made me do it, and if I didn't do it, he would beat me. And I'm telling you,
Kim was his wife for years, and she didn't walk around butt naked.
He dressed her though.
But what I'm saying is Kim.
She didn't do like this shit.
Kim came out saying straight up, like, I look like the bad guy because I asked her, what's her name, Bianca? What's her name? Yeah. I asked Bianca to be clothed around our children. And I look like the bad parent because my kids go over there and get candy and ice cream and pizza parties and they're having fun. Mm-hmm. I just don't want her to be naked and I look like the bad guy. For Kim Kardashian to just say, like, I want her to be clothed around my children, you're not clothed in your home. That's not a he's dressing me situation. That's you. If you're a nudist, cool, be a nudist. But you should respect somebody's boundaries around their children.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think that fight's gonna work, girl. Like, you lied. You're naked at home. Like, the math ain't mathing.
Yeah, I mean, that whole family's kind of...
It's weird. That whole situation is weird.
All of it.
Yeah, he's one of the people who's got affected. I'm just curious to see how this all gonna play out.
It's not. We gonna stop. It's gonna be like Trey Songz. We gonna stop hearing about it in a couple months.
Oh man.
With who?
What do you
Diddy?
mean? Yeah.
No. That shit gonna
We
last.
hear about Trey Songz. We hear about him. Oh my God, he beat somebody else up. He locked him in the closet.
Disappear.
Oh, he beat up one of the jump off girls. Woo.
Trey Songz ain't he? You know.
So you again.
Diddy hot. Like Diddy's that's different.
Diddy
That's
gonna
stick.
be rooming with Russell. He getting it together now. Their home is.
I mean, if they get him out of there, he got a great lawyer because they really trying to hold this man. Usually they let niggas bail out. They did not let him bail out.
Like I said, I feel like a lot of the attention is because we bring it to him. Like,
and we're gonna stop hearing about it, and then it's gonna be one of those. There's gonna be another like weird disaster. Not to say that we're causing the disasters, but like Milton, everybody's focused on Milton right now. There's gonna be. It's just life. Things continue to happen. So when the next storm, the next big issue. It's going to be big, and then we're not going to hear about Diddy again, and then we're going to be sitting here
I think we'll keep hearing him. I think people.
Diddy's gonna last.
I think we'll keep. You know why I think Diddy's gonna last? Because the memes.
Yeah.
The memes alone will keep people in the know, and I know
There's
it's don't make light of it, but like there's so many diddler memes everywhere.
I haven't seen any of those.
Well, you have a good social media.
Right.
Yeah, I clean I don't
because
follow.
I see that shit all the time, bruh. And I don't even follow these people. It's just you see it on your feed.
My feed is.
You see it on your feed.
My feed is foreign countries and beaches and rich bitches. Like
little kids making.
It's a little like
bruh,
Diddy is like a
kids
little
are playing Roblox as Diddy.
Yeah.
And going in people's rooms and locking the door and emoting like they're humping them. Like,
and that is bad parenting, and those parents need to be.
I mean, but as a parent, you can't really. All you can do is just take away the opportunity for them to be on the games, and I don't think that necessarily.
I remember when Monica Lewinsky did that shit with Bill Clinton.
Yeah,
we all knew about that shit. I think I was in elementary school.
Bro, I was in. Yeah, I was like, bro, I was like, who is Monica Lewinsky?
We knew, but I wasn't on my knees under a desk pretending to do that.
No.
So what I'm saying, what you're
these
saying
kids
is
nowadays
very
are wilder. No. Kids now are wilder because kids will act out things that they hear, they see,
and that's bad parenting.
And they have more. I mean, it's. Yeah, but it's harder.
For your kid to be unattended long enough to create a Diddy character, create a house, go missing in the house with Diddy and pretend to rape somebody, you're raising a pedophile. You're raising a future predator. To me, that is wild.
I think they're desensitizing themselves to it.
Well, they need to get resensitized because that's crazy.
I will say.
That's crazy.
You should definitely monitor your child whenever they're on the internet or doing anything. But I think nowadays, even more so, it's just getting harder and harder.
The internet is really hard. Like you really have to shelter.
But that's like saying, oh my God.
Like if I had a kid, I'm gonna make sure my kid ain't doing no shit like that because I'm very versed in the internet, right?
But I feel like what you're saying is the equivalent to we're all the same age. Growing up, our parents, and it was always a joke. We all used to joke about it. There's some old white man on the other side of that talking to you on Facebook. That's not a girl. Yeah. We all used to joke about it.
But that shit was real.
It was real. It was real as fuck.
And we all used to joke, and it was he, and people catfishing. We had less technology back then and still had those issues. To me, the way that you made light of the Roblox situation is the equivalent of like, well, there's so much technology now. I can't prevent my young daughter from potentially being raped on her way home. So it's just going to happen. So I don't need to do anything because I just can't help it. There's too much technology. There's too much. You can help it.
You can
having your kid on Roblox doing all of that, you can help that. You can have a conversation with your child and be like, yo, this is not appropriate on any means. Like, that's parenting. That's you having uncomfortable conversations. The same way that you tell your children, hey, that dress is a little too short. Mm-hmm. Hey, pull your pants up, your ass is out. Brush your teeth. That's a part of parenting. You cannot just say there's too much technology, we can't control it. That's wild. That's wild. That's not an excuse. And if you're using that as an excuse, you are a bad parent. You should feel attacked. You should do better. That's crazy. And if you're a child doing that, go get therapy. Tell your mom you need help. That is not normal. That's not normal behavior. It's not cool.
Do not play as Diddy on computer.
Like, what are you doing?
No, it's just, it's, I don't know. The internet is such a weird place now, right? And I do agree, right? Like I said, I agree fully. You should definitely be able to monitor your children and make sure they're not, making light of situations. But I think that comes with more
you not making light of the situation.
Yeah, that and teaching your kids why it's wrong.
Yeah.
Right. So like, imagine if a parent caught their kid pretending to be Diddy on a game. Would they then tell them why it's wrong, or would they just say no, don't do that?
No, you definitely
because as a kid, as a kid, we all were kids. We all look for understanding anyway. We need to have an understanding of why we shouldn't do the thing. If a kid is doing all
that, they understand what they're doing.
Well, yeah.
So they have enough mental capacity.
I don't know.
But I'm saying if you...
Because, like, kids...
You're
kids would like
something that
punch each other and they didn't know the implications.
It's something you saw.
They just saw it. They don't know the implications of hunching.
Oh no, I was hunching. I ain't never seen no hunching, bro.
Exactly. Kids was hunching and I didn't see it on a TV show.
We hunching not knowing. Like
I didn't even know the term hunching until I moved to Florida. That's not a thing.
We used the word hunching, but
that's not a thing.
I mean, I'm from Florida, so it was hunching.
Yeah, they were talking about it one day on campus. And I was like, "What is that? Like, what's that even mean?" Like,
hunching. It's just humping. It's just humping.
Yeah,
but
no,
we called it hunching.
As a kid, was like, "Oh, let me hump something." Like, what? Y'all acting like the little girl off Big Mouth. No.
I mean, Big Mouth kind of got it.
They're on there, yeah.
They kind of got it. I guess that's how it is. But once you get awakened,
conversations can be had. Is all I'm saying.
And I think that's where it is. You need to have conversations with your children.
It's uncomfortable
about these things. Like, I see a bunch of as a parent nowadays, you see a bunch of these things talking about Diddy. You probably should take your kid and be like, hey, and especially if your kid's on social media, right? Yeah. Because as much as parents try to, like I said, as much as you can try to regulate you can't stop everything. No. And that's more so what I'm saying is you can't stop everything because it's new stuff every day. There's new ways to do things.
Unattended that long.
Exactly. And that's another problem too, because a lot of parents just take the tablet, go off and do your thing.
That's wild to me.
That is the craziest shit.
2 years old, can't
with the tablet.
Can't go to the back, shitting on yourself, playing with a tablet. You still in diapers, but can play a whole game on the iPad. Can't speak to say nothing, but you're just on iPad, babied up. Barely can walk, no motor skills, but you can show me that's crazy.
It's crazy.
Just sitting there at the motherfucking laundromat like.
Yeah, you're a bad parent. No, that's wild. Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah, I had books when I was growing up. So.
Books, chores, outside, playing.
Outside, for real. Like
outside, baby.
Baseball, something. Like
all the scars.
We ain't doing no tablets. I can't do the tablets, bro. That is the most brain dead shit. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like for their eyes and the development, like if we have to wear blue light glasses, if we're looking at it too long, how can it be good for a kid to be like,
so they're doing that shit and they look at it the whole time while they parents shopping.
Over it, just
because he crying, you don't know how to tell him to stop crying. You don't know how to attend to him so he can stop crying. You give him
or figure out what's wrong. Are they crying because they want to talk? Are they crying because they need something? Right. Are they crying? Kids aren't just crying to cry. Mm-hmm. Like there's a need.
They cry for a reason usually. The only time they cry to cry is if they're not getting something, and then they're not even crying to cry. They're crying because they want something. That's still purpose. Yeah, I want what you have. I want your attention. I want your love. I want to be close to you. I need something. I'm hungry. Like, if your kid is just crying to cry, maybe take them somewhere to a specialist because something's probably wrong. Going on, yeah. Like, respectfully. But I don't know any children that just cry to cry. Like, they need outlets. And if it's not you, if you don't have the capabilities, there's clubs, there's groups, there's stuff you could do. Yeah. Other than throw an iPad at them and let them pretend to be Diddy. That's wild. Yeah. But even the kids shows, like, one of my friends, she has a daughter, and she was watching a Barbie something. Yeah, you told us about that.
Yeah, and I was in the car.
And that Barbie, somebody had dubbed over it with some other crazy stuff, and it wasn't even regular Barbie.
Had I not been listening, I'm like, what is happening?
So you really got to pay attention.
Barbie's talking about sex.
Like, they're not paying attention to what they're watching either.
Because the companies that manage these things aren't going to pay attention. They just want their money.
If
they add revenue.
18 and up there, they don't care.
Look, all they want is ad revenue. That's it.
That's it.
Because I'm not a parent to your child. It's almost like when we were growing up. And they would be like, oh, don't you feel like you need to do better because the kids look up to you? And it's like Lil' Kim. No. Why is your child looking up to me? No. No, I don't feel like I need to cover up.
And this kind of goes back to what you were talking about in the beginning. Don't you need to spend your money this way?
No. I don't need to do anything.
I'm not responsible for anybody else's children.
However, no, I'm Trina.
However, I
think cleaning it up.
I think the best way to look at it is it's always the parent. It's always on the parents. It's always going to be on the parents.
As it should be. You brought this person into the world.
But I think once you get boosted, once again, the way things are, once you get boosted up to a certain status, there are going to be people who look up to you. And
that's still not my problem.
They're going to have optics. It might not be your problem, but it is something that it can be an effect, right? So like if a new age Sexy Red came, Sexy Red, right? If like little girls looking up to Sexy Red, if your parents should tell you don't look up to her, right?
As
that's
my
for an
child
adult.
shouldn't be exposed to Sexy Red. Like, unless you're at school.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're gonna come to me.
They're gonna come across it, right?
Yeah.
As much as a parent can try and hide things from you,
you can't
keep
stop
things,
everything for sure.
Exactly. Once they go out in public, they're no longer under your protection. So then it comes up to how these outside things will influence them. One way you could teach them. I'm just saying as a influential person, because this was like what happened when we talked about the Kai Cenat thing. As an influential person, you do have to understand the influence that you have on other people, just in general. And this has nothing to do with, you need to be more modest or anything like that. Do whatever the hell you want, but understand that the way you are will affect people, regardless of what you do. And that's unfortunately the way it is because people aren't capable.
People comment on our stuff.
Yeah, I mean, what we say is is probably influential to somebody, so we can sway, and that's the goal, right? That's what we want. We want to be able to sway you all's opinions in a way where you might think about a topic differently. If anything, what I want you to take from this episode is be mindful of your children, especially people with kids.
Protect your children.
If your children has a talent, if your children doesn't have a talent,
if you have a child, protect your child.
Protect them, because you never know what somebody else is trying to do or what else is being fed into them or how they're going to turn out based on that. I think that's the biggest lesson to learn from this whole industry thing is just like protect your children and teach them, because not only was it the fact that there's people who were under Diddy, being raised, but there were other people who probably weren't protected and they made certain life decisions and they ended up at these parties, or they didn't make certain life decisions, they ended up as victims.
And I think stop making excuses for people. If you know somebody is doing something that's not right,
call them out.
Yeah.
It's about having that uncomfortable talk.
When we say protect your children, that could even be protecting your children from your spouse, protecting your children from your parents. Like, I think we have to stop being complacent and making excuses for people just because they're close to us. If you are wrong, you are wrong. If you are doing something that is not cool, not appropriate, not legal, not okay, stop making excuses because that's uncle whoever, auntie whoever. If somebody is disrespecting your child, even if it's not touching, I think even in a degrading way, calling your kid fat, being mean, come here, little chunky. Like, no, like that gives people complexes. Yeah. Like, the ugly twin.
We can't call him little chunky?
I mean, how would you feel if that was you?
I mean, that was me.
Come here, little fatty.
I just don't look.
Certain stuff
as a kid,
cool.
I don't think you should comment on certain aspects of children. Like, you got a fat little booty or something like that.
Weird.
Like,
that's crazy.
Bro, I'm 10 years old. I'm 10 years old. You talking about I got a fat booty? That's weird.
Yeah,
that's very fucking weird.
That is crazy though.
I was told when I was like 12, I'm super bow-legged, and I was obviously a lot smaller than I am now. And I was at my friend's house. We have a freaking bounce house. Like, this is like kid party. And I was passing the adults to go to the bathroom. And they were like, you're bow-legged. And I was like, yeah. You gonna know what that means when you get older.
That's crazy.
That's weird.
What? Like, what?
That's really weird.
But, like, you nasty person.
But I think, like I said,
like, I'm playing with your
these are things you never noticed growing up. But, like, now as an adult, it's like,
I noticed it. I'm like,
you notice it, bro. But it's like...
Well, I mean... Yeah.
When you go to your homeboy house and they mom don't never got no pants on,
subconsciously
little panties on, answering door t-shirts.
That's crazy.
That's not cool.
I ain't never experienced that.
That's not cool.
Y'all seen Chris' mama? She on some shit.
Like, what are you doing?
Shit like that. Like, you know it subconsciously though when you're a kid. You don't think too far. Yeah. But when you get, there's so much shit. Like when I got older, thinking about, man, bro, homies' moms.
Pedophiles.
Like, bro, like the shit that they would do around us and shit, like it was so crazy.
One of the girls I went to high school with, her mom was fucking our friend. Mm-hmm. Like, what?
They gave that nigga hella props.
Full relationship. He was driving her car to school.
We had people. People in our like.
You can't be cool with that nigga afterwards. Like he fucking your mom.
His sister wanted to fight my friend, and I'm like, bro, your brother is fucking her mom. Like, how's she getting beat up? That's wild. That's wild. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying, like, so in our apartment complex, like, it was this one girl, she was probably like 19, had her own little apartment, used to fuck with one of our homies, and he in high school, like, you know what I'm saying? Like 16, 17, pedophile, for sure. She had just we seen her nigga.
Pedophile,
multiple times throughout the whole shit. She broke up with him, got with him. And we thinking he the, you know what I'm saying, he the shit. But it's like, you think about it, I'm 30 now, it's like, damn, she was on some crazy
shit. What
shit.
business does a 19-year-old have with a 15?
And she had her own shit, and she had a son. So it's like...
That's wild.
That's crazy. I mean, it's the same thing for now though. Like, you got like older people. What business does anybody over a certain age have doing with a teenager? Like, you got 29, 30-year-olds trying to talk to 18-year-olds.
What are your ages for like a no-no? Because I feel like, so I just turned 30 and the dating pool is very interesting. So at what age does an age gap not matter as much, or what's the age gap that's appropriate? Because I know some people like to say, well, you're over 18, so it doesn't matter. I don't agree with that. I feel like
you gotta at least be able to drink.
I would never date
legally
an 18-year-old. I would never date a 21-year-old. I personally don't like people younger than me.
I feel like, I don't know. I mean, right now it's probably like anybody 5 years. I'd probably go back 5 years, maybe.
Down 5, up 5.
Down. Maybe.
Down 5.
So I'd probably date somebody 25 and up.
Okay, what's up? What's your max?
The boy said, "Ain't no max."
So, you wouldn't date like a cougar?
And she's 70, it's going. Fuck.
Okay.
She might teach me something.
Okay. How much? That's wild.
Oh, shit. Nah, for real though. Hey,
I can't. So look, I try not to discriminate. I don't want to date anybody young. I know I don't want to date anybody young because younger people are like.
Thing on him. He said, "Hey, Miss Shirley."
Younger people don't have the level of maturity I'm looking for, right?
Okay.
And I feel like your frontal cortex doesn't develop until you're at least 25, 26. So I don't know. I don't know. As far as like a upper range, I mean, if once they start getting too old, I guess I don't know.
Look, it ain't one, Miss Shirley. I'm telling you, but
an older person, it'd probably be interesting. I don't know if we would date seriously, like we're gonna date to marry. I don't think I'd date like a 50-year-old woman. That's like my mom's age, right?
I wouldn't. Unless she like, what's her name? She on that one show. Damn, I know I said that. She was on Wakanda.
Angela Bassett.
See, like that. That's like, okay. Let's see what we doing.
Tracy Ellis.
Hell yeah.
Tracy's pretty. Angela Bassett is fine.
I'm telling you, like
she looked really good in American Horror Story.
But like, I feel like that's
like 50.
I ain't gonna lie. I know it's hypocritical. I know, because the same way I'm condemning niggas who are like 30 dating like teenagers, that could technically apply with like a woman like Angela Bassett or Tracy Ellis.
That is not the same thing.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yes, it is.
How is that the same thing?
Drea and her situation.
It is.
That nigga 23.
He's the same age as her son. Her and her son, his son,
40.
her son.
You know why it's looked at that way? Because people aren't looking at the age you are right now. They're looking at the gap.
Cortex ain't developed.
Exactly. They're looking at the age that you are, the gap, right? So if I'm 30 and I'm dating a 50-year-old, that's a 20-year gap.
Fine. You're 30,
no, but look, that's a 20-year gap. They're gonna take it back to when she was 20. Nigga,
that's
you wasn't
foolish.
even alive.
I'll say
it's exactly how people look at it.
I think anybody over the age of 20, I'll say like 25. 25, I don't care about the age difference.
Same thing.
If you're over,
so once you make it past 25,
once you're 25, I feel like date whoever you want.
So you think it's fine for like 60-year-old men to date like 25-year-olds?
If that's what you want. Yeah. Because at 25, I feel like you've at least
so you feel like the age gap doesn't matter when you
after 25. Because I'll say you've graduated high school.
I'll give you that. I think that's the logical way to look at it.
You've gone to some kind of higher education, no matter what that looks like, whether you got a trade, whether you did a degree program, whatever. You can drink. Mm-hmm. You can have your own insurance. Mm-hmm. You can rent a car. You can go places and do things. So I'll say 25 and up, I don't judge the gap. 25 and under, if you're a 40-year-old dating a 21-year-old, if you're a 30-year-old dating a 20-year-old, I'm definitely saying
you be side-eyeing Leo DiCaprio, huh?
Yes, male or female.
Hey, bro, be getting them straight off the lot.
I'm not here for it.
He want them straight off the lot.
Nobody say nothing.
Don't nobody say nothing. Predatory. It's predatory to me. Because other than control, what do you as a 40-year-old, anybody have in common with a 21-year-old? What do you have in common? None. At 21, I was just graduating college. I graduated high school at 17, college at 21. What business does a 40-year-old, what do we have in common? Granted, I worked full time. I had an apartment. I had all my own shit. But I've never had a real job without being attached to school for 21 years. At least at 25, you know, you've had some semblance of like figuring life out and, you know, a big girl job, big boy job without school, without the balancing act. You're figuring your life out. Other than you being a predator and trying to control somebody, what do you have in common? Like, I would love to know. Like, what's the difference between them at 21 and them at 25? Like, and I'm not condemning age differences after 25. I don't care. Be grown. Do you. But that young, I just feel like it's predatory.
It is. I mean, it is. I mean, it's definitely a manipulation factor, especially with older men, with super older men, like 60s going to 21s and all that. Like, we know what you're doing,
But women too.
Yeah,
it's people.
Women do it, but you see men more do it. You see men like men.
I
men
see
are,
women doing it. We just don't acknowledge it.
I was about to say men be out there with it. Like these 60-year-old dudes be out here with these young girls. Like they just be.
It's just like I don't know.
And we already know what it is. They cashing out. They just cashing out on these young girls, and they just like, yeah, he giving me money.
You heard about Lil Baby ex going with Ant?
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Edwards, yeah, Anthony Edwards.
I didn't.
Not the one who just had a baby, is it?
You talking about Jaden?
Nah.
He talking about another one.
Oh, his first baby mom.
Yeah.
I saw he's dating some girl now.
Who, Anthony Edwards?
No,
Lil
Baby.
The nurse?
Yeah, they do like a copy and repeat. Like, I think, I'm not like downing her.
They like the same types of women. That's it.
It's not the women, it's the gifts. So like the layout was so cute. Like it was really adorable. If anybody wants to buy me a bunch of bags with some stuff, do your thing. I will accept. It was very cute. But I feel like it's copy and pasted. Like I've seen him do that for Jada. I've seen
it's the
money
same,
bags for art. It's literally copy and pasted. I feel like
you get the same company you do the whole.
Yeah,
shit.
like you just got them on.
As long as they accept it, they don't care about it
but
being
it's
the
so
same.
weird to me.
It's like
because that's all
like
that stuff
you
is
ain't never
manufactured.
had no shit like this. Like, come on now.
It's all manufactured, and at the end of the day,
I just feel like give them to me in a different way. Like you did this for the last 5 bitches.
I mean,
like,
you're gonna be one of the different ones. If you was one of them, right? You would be different.
Yeah, it wouldn't be posted if you did that.
A lot of them just.
You want to post it?
Fuck no. No. I would have got my copy and repeat gifts in peace. No.
Fair. She said, keep me in silence. I'm not here.
Period. No. Because if this is it, like you've done that for everybody, I'm not different. Like you're not gonna make me feel special.
Doing the same thing for everybody else.
Yeah, like that's for me. That's just what you do. That's a part of the bag.
Hey, look, they
like,
accept it. So shit.
I said I would accept it. I just wouldn't take you serious.
What if you said you gotta post it though?
Oh, I'm not posting it.
Oh shit. Say, hey.
That'd be crazy.
I'm not posting it. Like, why you want people in our business?
You know why?
Nah.
It's a little stunt.
It's part of the game.
I'll post when we go on vacation. I'll line them up different. I don't like this.
Oh, you just gonna switch it up yourself?
Yeah, I don't like this.
Niggas gonna be in the comments.
If you gonna force me to post it,
he's the same. It's the same stuff. She just mixed it up a little bit.
If you're gonna force me to post your gifts, then I'm gonna need you to give me something that you haven't rinsed and repeated with the last 20 bitches. If not, fuck you. You ain't put no thought into this. Like, respectfully. Like, I don't.
Well, with that, we had a little fun talking about the industry and all that, but I want to get into Keish done said it. She sent us a video, so we're going to listen to that real quick. Come back to y'all. Let y'all know what we think.
Hey guys, this one's called Lazy or Depressed. Let me know what you think about this one. When I first met the guy I'm dating, he had a lot going for him. He told me about his vision for the future, and I loved where he was heading. He worked as a senior manager at a tech startup. He used to complain about the hours, but he managed through. He would always find the time for me, so I knew he liked me and was serious about making us work. 2 months ago, he was laid off, and he has not gotten a job since. I talk to him every day and ask him how his day was, and he always lets me know about the errands he's ran and the video games he's playing. I'm starting to see a different side of him that I've never seen before. He seemed so ambitious before, and they gave him a severance package, but that's going to run out soon. I am trying to be patient with his transition, but it's starting to affect me because I'm going to work every day and he is not. Is this a good enough reason to let the relationship die, or do I ride through this rough time with him? How can I help him?
So my opinions are very simple. I'm not struggling with you. So, like, if you seem like you had all this together and you were doing this, to me, it's just giving he got comfortable and you're seeing who he really is. Like, the man is not what you thought he was. And I think as women, this is where we really, really mess up. Our idea of you versus you. who we want you to be and the potential we see, who we have.
Hey, look, I say this all the time.
She fell in love with the idea of him, not him. She doesn't know this man. Now she sees who he is, and she's like, what should I do? You should look in the mirror and say, can I be with somebody like this? Because that is your man. He's not ambitious. He's not a go-getter. He is comfortable with being at home playing on the game while you work. And if you're not cool with that and you're not comfortable with that, leave. But trying to change him and like, what can I do? You can't do anything. He does not have that in him. Therefore, you know who you're with. Leave now, girl. Just don't waste 2 years. Like, it's not, you're dumb.
Did
Leave.
he stop paying bills and all that and shit when he lost his job?
Nah, because he has a severance package. She's mad because she's clocking in and going to work every day. And when she comes home, he's playing the game. And the severance package is about to run out. And he hasn't applied for a job. So she's about to have to pay the bills. That's how
Is she
it's happening.
struggling now, though?
She said she's struggling with her working and him playing the game.
So she mad that he ain't got to work.
And she's mad that not only does he not have to work, but he's not being proactive to find a job.
But she ain't got to pay for nothing. She ain't doing nothing extra. It's just he don't have to work and she don't.
No,
it's the potential of her having to do it.
But it ain't happened yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
point. That's the
Okay.
But I think her thinking is like, if he doesn't see that he's not going to be able to afford bills in a couple months, I'm going to have to cover it because instead of him paying for jobs, he's playing the game. He seems irresponsible.
So to that point, I think we're filling in the blanks here.
Oh, for sure. I'm going based off of, instead of him applying for jobs and being the go-getter and doing things, he's chilling and playing the game. And you're mad because you're at work and he's playing the game. And you feel
this
like...
is what we got to start doing next time. We got to get a little bit of follow-up questions
Yeah,
next
we need
time.
more
She said
info.
no. But I will say, it depends on where their situation is going. Are they about to be struggling? Is he actually not doing anything? Or does it just seem like he's not doing anything because when she comes home, he's relaxing? He could have applied for a bunch of
But either
jobs,
way, she
right?
don't like it.
My thing is, if it's... Always communicate something to somebody. Don't just let it happen. Don't just let the relationship die without
That's really what it
actually
is.
talking. Like, talk to him. See if he is actually doing any of that or if he's just really being a lazy bum. If he's being a lazy bum and you don't want to be with a lazy bum, leave the nigga. But if he's like, no, I've applied to XYZ, I have an interview, boom, 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 and all this is going to happen. He's got a severance package. He's probably just taking some time to relax. You know, you got some money. You ain't got to work. Take a little bit of time to relax. He probably been working hard before he got fired. You never know. But to just go nuclear and just say, let the relationship die, I think is a bit of an overreaction. Communicate. Talk.
Do you not think that they communicated before they wrote into these things, though? Like, at this big age, before I take time to sit down and type my life story and my personal business, did you really not attempt to communicate first? Like,
Yes.
that's weird to me.
Yes. Look,
yeah.
I work
think so?
I work in
absolutely.
IT, and a lot of times people just don't go through the proper
Not
steps to
ever.
fix anything.
Ever.
There's always a solution to something, and people always skip over the solution and ask for help immediately.
So I will say, ask the man what he's doing. I don't know. I assumed you communicated first before you wrote in.
Like, you got any plans? You got any plans to, for your
Nah,
next job?
just have an actual conversation. Don't say it like that because it sounds kind of passive aggressive.
What?
Like, you got any plans?
Not really.
I also
Nah,
feel-
bro. Imagine you playing your game and you just got fired, and your girl come in the room.
I got fired. I'm playing the game. Yeah, I got fired. I'm playing the game. Yeah, we need to talk about this because
Okay, you got laid off. My bad. You got laid off. You in the room. You chilling. Like, you got a service package. You like, I'm gonna relax. Whatever. Your girl like, you got any plans for
Nah, for real.
getting a job? Like,
I wouldn't say it like that.
I
But
wouldn't want her to come at me like that because it feels like you coming at me on some nigga. You better get back to work. Like,
I mean,
would've
nigga,
been
you
like-
better get back to work.
I don't need somebody to tell me that
I
though.
feel like I just would have been like, babe, you got you got laid off. That's terrible. Like, what's the next steps?
Yeah,
Like, what
come
do you
at me
wanna
normally.
do?
Like, I
Like
don't
that-
want to feel like somebody coming at me
Normally?
like they my
I don't
mom.
think I would come at you while you playing the game and be like, what you finna do?
Like,
that's
bro, like
wild.
But
that's like coming at somebody like you, they mom.
I
Nigga,
definitely-
I'm
it
finna
would-
leave your ass. That's what I'm about
I
to
think
do.
it would be over dinner, but if we're living together and we're sharing finances, I would hope that like you already said like, hey babe, like what's the plan? Do you want time off? Because if I just got laid off and they've been getting on my nerves for the last 10 years, yeah, bitch, I'm taking a fucking break.
I wouldn't be hitting my girl up like, hey, so what you about to do?
Big chillin'.
Like, No,
but
like,
I would be like, yeah, babe, like, what do you want to do? Like, do you want to still work in the field? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Like, I'm assuming she's had these conversations. But to your point.
So if they had those, so look, the answer for the information I had is what I said. But if they have talked about this and he doesn't seem to be wanting for a job, then you need to make a decision on what you want. If you don't want to be with a man who's not willing to
be proactive,
pick himself up, dust himself off, and get back to it, then you need to move on. If you want to sit here and work on a project, by all means, do your thing. I can't tell you to get with somebody or stay or break up with them, but that's a project if he's not trying to do nothing. If you're just sitting there playing the game, wasting away, not getting another job, that's crazy.
From the context of the story,
it sounded like she did that.
It sounded like she mad because he's chilling. And
that's what it sounds like. That's exactly what it sounds like. To be honest,
I think that's the case because there's been many situations
and
where
if that's the case,
I'll take a break, and not a break. I'll have like days off, and I'll be at the house. You know what I'm saying? Whether I'd be chilling, whatever, watching a movie or something, and she had to get up early as hell, like 3:00 in the morning, go do her job, whatever. And then she's like, "Well, you just gonna sit here all day for your break, not gonna do nothing?" And it's like, "No, I'm just chilling at the house." And it was kind of, she ain't gonna tell me it was a problem, but she ain't like how I was able to take my day off because I don't work.
I will say that's wild though. Like, I didn't pick your career. So like, if you gotta wake up at 3 a.m., that's not my business.
Look,
but it's not a rational thought. No. Like, that's them being irrational.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it is. Like, people look at me like, whenever I tell people, I work from home, they're like, oh, that's all you do? That's it? Like, yeah.
But I think that goes into like, I do more than you, or I do more than what you do. And I think that's when kind of to the comparison comes in. Stop, mind your goddamn business. I didn't want to do what you do. So I'm not doing it.
Comparison.
Like, I don't want to be in the health field. What does they say?
Comparison is the something of joy. It's the
killer of joy.
Killer of joy.
I don't want to work with kids. Like, you pick those things. You can't compare your stressful life. You chose your stress. I don't live.
That's what I'm saying.
What did JT say? I don't do that.
People are like, you just wake up, turn on the computer, and work. Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, that's what I chose to do, and you can do it too if you leave your job.
Passive aggressive.
Yeah, so
all right.
Your point, did you have so it sounds like she hating?
Yeah, I mean but
if they talked about it, what do you like if they actually like went through the logical steps and he on some I'm just chilling.
Ain't got nothing? I mean, what's the time limit from now until he ain't got no money?
They got a month.
I mean,
She said it's running out.
I can get to the bag in a month. I mean, it depends on the nigga, right? Like, what kind of nigga you dealing with?
So it comes down to, is he the type of nigga who can actually like get to it and get work and hustle?
What did he do previously? What was his job previously? Like, was it a
tech?
Huh?
She said tech.
Tech?
Yeah.
I think you can get to that. Tech is
Oh yeah, if you got a tech job already, it shouldn't be hard to get another one.
It ain't gonna take long. Yeah, he good.
He probably is working it, and she just come home and see him on the game.
He probably already got the job.
Cause that's definitely what I be on. Shit.
I would have started the date after my little money ran out. Like, I need 2 weeks to vibe, a month to vibe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't know. I do agree with Kel though. It do sound like she mad that he just.
I mean, I get it because you have to get up and grind. And this nigga, you know what I'm saying?
In a relationship, I don't think a woman wants to feel like she coming home. She go to work. She do whatever she do at work. Come home. And the dude in the same spot.
I don't want to feel like I'm working harder than you.
Y'all remember Mom Dukes? Be mad as hell. You on the game. She just came home from a trip. Nigga,
you just in here chilling. Like,
living your best life.
My life is happy.
Yeah, she don't go crazy.
Hey, look, I ain't gonna lie. I don't want my kids to ever experience that. No. I want to be able to come home and say, "Oh, how was school? It was good. Hey, what game are you playing?"
No, I ain't gonna lie. Cool. I'm not gonna lie. I come home, bro. Ain't nothing like you done fucked this shit up too. Nah, bro, get your ass up and start washing. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, you mean like they making a mess or something?
No, like it's shit literally all over the place, and you.
Oh no, I mean, okay, look, they need to make sure they take care of what they need to take care of.
I'm gonna have a short list set anyway for their ass.
I think he meant like if you. Everything is pristine.
Well, everything's
and you're
the way it
minding your
needs to
business
be.
on the game. And your mom like, fuck are you doing, bro? Like, she just choosing violence.
Just today is the day. You need to go clean the bathroom, deep clean it.
That's crazy. Yeah,
get the toothbrush out.
I'm like, bro, I cleaned the bathroom yesterday. Like, you're a hater. Like, I'm leaving.
It's not clean to my standards. Like, okay. Yeah. But anyway.
Don't take your bad day out on your people.
If you didn't, please communicate to that man how you feel right now. If you did, you need to put a timetable on it. Do that. If you want to leave, I feel like if you're thinking about leaving, chances are you kind of want to leave.
Anyway. Yeah, you already halfway out.
I feel like once y'all start thinking about it, y'all already halfway convinced anyway. Like, on so it's like you might as well. But with that being said, we thank y'all for joining us today.
Yes.
Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share
Follow,
the
follow,
YouTube
follow.
videos, share these videos, tell your friends about us. Get it out. We got more Bridge content coming. Got some specials coming up. We got some more shows coming. So, keep it locked. I've been Ty. You can find me at new_Ty. Follow the production at Nostalgia Uni ENT. Kick it over to Kel.
You already know what it is. Look at the bar, whatever we got going on. Anyway.kelly. You know what's going on.
And I'm Ashley. It's all below, but ashley.Kougher on IG.
We thank y'all again. With that, peace.
Bye.